You're listening to the Building Stronger Agents podcast, where we interview the top solo agents, team leaders, and brokers across the country to see what makes them thrive in today's market and beyond. Welcome back, guys. This is Will Penny, and you're listening to the latest episode of the Building Stronger Agents podcast. And today, I have a friend of mine in Bridgewater, New Jersey, which is in the center of the state, and he's a real estate agent with Remax. He's been licensed since 2014, and last year his team did 83 transactions, about $34 million worth of real estate. So I think on anybody's standards, that is legit. A lot of his business is referrals. Today we're going to talk about what got him here, how he did 83 transactions, which is a lot. He also just qualified for the Remax Hall of Fame Award, which is the biggest award that they have. And we're excited to see how a young guy like this does so well. Interesting fact, he has a private Facebook group that he uses to nurture his fear, and I'm really excited to talk to him about that. So thanks for coming on here again today, Alex, and how's your day going, man?
Great, Will. Doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about yourself. I mean, how old are you, 30?
I am 37.
37, okay, well, you're aging
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
So you got in 2014. What did you do before that?
Yeah, so I was actually a teacher. So I
Oh,
taught for, I was a special ed teacher. I taught sixth graders for 11 years.
oh, wow, I didn't
And
know that.
about 3 years into that is when I got licensed. I actually found on Groupon, I don't know if that's still around anymore,
Oh
but
my God.
it was like $300 to get your real estate license. And it was just one of those things. I was like, I'll do it. It's pretty easy, 75 hours. I'll do it in the summer. So no big deal. Never realizing what it was going to really turn into. Then after 11 years of teaching, at that time I was 8 years into real estate because there was about 8 years where I was doing both.
Hmm.
That's when I finally gave up the teaching and started doing it full time. But I feel like I was doing it full time the whole time because I was working a lot, on the side of the teaching job.
Yeah, and you manage children and a wife and family life, and you're buying rentals. I mean, you got a lot going on.
I got a lot going on for sure. So definitely didn't have time to teach anymore.
So, out of those 83 transactions, how do you break that down? Do you pay for leads? I mean, where are you getting your business from?
Sure. So we do some Zillow advertising with my team, get a decent amount of leads from there. I do use a lot of those pay per closing websites. There's a bunch of them where basically there's no monthly fee or no commitment, and if you get a closing, you pay a referral fee. So I like
Those are good
those.
deals. Like
Yeah,
Effective
yeah.
Agent, Fast Expert, those ones.
Yep, yep. Agent Pronto also. So those we do pretty well with those, and then I get a lot of referrals from other realtors. I'm on Facebook a lot, passing around referrals back and forth. A lot of my Remax friends are, often throwing referrals around, and I've been really, really successful with that as well.
Yeah, and you're in a tiny state doing a ton of business. So that's phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So, all right. So, what do you think of this market we're in right now? Is the
Yeah.
market in New
So
Jersey pretty good?
here in New Jersey, it's definitely good. We have very low inventory, and we have a lot of buyers, even despite where rates are at.
It's
So
nuts.
we're seeing multiple offers left and right. If it's a good house and it's in a good spot and priced right, it's like guaranteed to get multiple offers the first weekend. So it's a little tough to be a buyer, so you really need to be with a great realtor, so that you have competition. You have someone who's knowledgeable and knows how to get these offers accepted, because when you're up against 15 or 20, you got to do every little thing.
Are you still seeing 15 or 20 offers on a house?
Yeah, we are.
That's nuts. What's your average
Yep.
sale price there?
We're around 500. Depends where it is, of course.
Hmm.
But for maybe a three-bedroom home, you'll see around 500. Some of the bigger four-bed colonials in the certain towns around here, though, are often like 800, 900.
And how many square feet is a $500,000 house typically?
I would say 18, 1900.
Oh, wow. So you're over 200 bucks a foot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty good. It's a good market to be in then.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's expensive here, so It's costly to live here, so it needs to be. But we get you know decent commissions because of that high prices.
Yeah. Plus, I would imagine you guys don't experience some of the highs and lows. You're a lot like where we are, where it's just a steady economy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty steady here. Yep, it changes with the seasons a bit with temperatures when it gets really cold, but for the most part, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
steady.
Our weather sucks here too. Go back to 10 years
Yep.
ago when you were 27 and you got into real estate. Does that sound right? Were you
Yeah.
27?
Yep.
What did you do like right out of the gate? If you had a young professional that wanted to break into real estate now, if they were a teacher or they had another, they were a nurse and they wanted to get into real estate and keep their job, like what did you do to get business right out of the gate?
Yeah, so I definitely struggled the first few years. I was kind of floundering. As a teacher, I was, all the money I was receiving in real estate was sort of like extra. It was almost like
Yeah.
bonus money because I had,
Hmm.
a stable job and income. So I think because of that, I wasn't really moving fast enough. And I didn't have anyone in my corner pushing me, telling me, hey, you can do more, you can do better, you can really grow a big business. So for me, the first few years, I really didn't do a whole lot. It wasn't until like 2018, maybe when I was 30, where I really started taking off because I started seeing more stuff online, getting into social media, seeing what other agents were doing. So I think a new agent, you really need to get a mentor. I didn't have that. Whether it's joining a team and having a team leader who's really successful that can show you the way, you can excel so much faster. So I really would have. So I wish I had someone showing me, what was possible.
Yeah, it actually froze. It froze for a second. You said show me the way and then it cut out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I just wish I had like a mentor, a team leader, or someone who could show me,
Yeah.
how much faster I could succeed.
It's really like when I got in the business in 1988, when I was 19, there was no social media. And so no
Right.
one, I mean, I was driven and I did have a mentor, but I didn't have like, I didn't get to see other young people doing way better than me online and like
Right.
try to mirror that. You were limited by the people in your actual sphere around you. Whereas now, if you're young, I mean, you can go on Instagram or YouTube and see, and it's completely open to what is possible. I mean, there's 25-year-olds making millions of dollars a year in real
Yep.
estate and every other line of work. I mean, it's so much easier now to get educated, I think. But you still have
Exactly.
to take action because none of that means anything unless you're willing to implement, which you
Right.
obviously are. Do you prospect at all? Did you ever call FISBOs or expireds or do anything like that?
Yeah, all of that. I'm definitely big on using the phone. I call as many people as possible. We get a lot of leads, so inbound leads from all different sources, like I talked about. So a lot of my prospecting is really just like staying on top of the business I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm a believer that your CRM is where your money is. You don't need to chase too much. But yeah, I've dabbled with all of that, FISBOs and
Which,
expireds.
which CRM do you use?
We use KV Core.
Okay. Excellent. That's a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
I think Remax partnered with KV Core, right?
Yeah, we get it for free now. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Excellent. So, how many agents do you have on your team?
5.
Five plus you?
Yes.
Wow, you've grown that pretty
Yeah.
rapidly because it's only been a couple years since you were like by yourself with one or two people.
Yeah, so when I started the team when I joined Remax, that was 3.5 years ago, and added my first team member right at that time, and I was just with her for a couple years, but yeah, then I added another. Then it was a past client. Then my brother joined. Then I had a friend join who's also sort of our manager, team manager, but he is an agent and selling as well. And yeah, just added a new team member just like a few weeks ago, also a past client.
Well, he's lucky to be on your team because you've got leads. This episode of the Building Stronger Agents podcast is brought to you by Social Orchard. At Social Orchard, we help successful real estate agents nurture their past clients in Sphere 4 to 5 days a week so that you can never be forgotten. We're going to help you build a community with a private Facebook group. We provide all of the content, we help you engage and have conversations with your Sphere. All you have to do is invite your Facebook friends, grow the group, and engage with the comments daily. With your private friends and family Facebook group, you are never going to be forgotten again. And over time, your referral and repeat business is going to be stronger than it ever has been before. Visit socialorchard.com today. 27 and you got into real estate. Does that sound right? Were you
Yeah.
27?
Yep.
What did you do like right out of the gate? If you had a young professional that wanted to break into real estate now, if they were a teacher or they had another, they were a nurse and they wanted to get into real estate and keep their job, like what did you do to get business right out of the gate?
Yeah, so I definitely struggled the first few years. I was kind of floundering. As a teacher, I was, all the money I was receiving in real estate was sort of like extra. It was almost like
Yeah.
bonus money because I had,
Hmm.
a stable job and income. So I think because of that, I wasn't really moving fast enough. And I didn't have anyone in my corner pushing me, telling me, hey, you can do more, you can do better, you can really grow a big business. So for me, the first few years, I really didn't do a whole lot. It wasn't until like 2018, maybe when I was 30, where I really started taking off because I started seeing more stuff online, getting into social media, seeing what other agents were doing. So I think a new agent, you really need to get a mentor. I didn't have that. Whether it's joining a team and having a team leader who's really successful that can show you the way, you can excel so much faster. So I really would have. So I wish I had someone showing me, what was possible.
Yeah, it actually froze. It froze for a second. You said show me the way and then it cut out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I just wish I had like a mentor, a team leader, or someone who could show me,
Yeah.
how much faster I could succeed.
It's really like when I got in the business in 1988, when I was 19, there was no social media. And so no
Right.
one, I mean, I was driven and I did have a mentor, but I didn't have like, I didn't get to see other young people doing way better than me online and like
Right.
try to mirror that. You were limited by the people in your actual sphere around you. Whereas now, if you're young, I mean, you can go on Instagram or YouTube and see, and it's completely open to what is possible. I mean, there's 25-year-olds making millions of dollars a year in real
Yep.
estate and every other line of work. I mean, it's so much easier now to get educated, I think. Um, but you still have
Exactly.
to take action because none of that means anything unless you're willing to implement, which you
Right.
obviously are. Do you prospect at all? Did you ever call FISBOs or expireds or do anything like that?
Yeah, all of that. I'm definitely big on using the phone. I call as many people as possible. We get a lot of leads, so inbound leads from all different sources, like I talked about. So a lot of my prospecting is really just like staying on top of the business I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm a believer that your CRM is where your money is. You don't need to chase too much. But yeah, I've dabbled with all of that, FISBOs and
Wh-
expireds.
which CRM do you use?
We use KV Core.
Okay, excellent. That's a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
I think Remax partnered with KV Core, right?
Yeah, we get it for free now. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. Excellent. So, how many agents do you have on your team?
5.
Five plus you?
Yes.
Wow, you've grown that pretty
Yeah.
rapidly because it's only been a couple years since you were like by yourself with one or two people.
Yeah, so when I started the team when I joined Remax, that was 3.5 years ago, and added my first team member right at that time, and I was just with her for a couple years. But yeah, then I added another. Then it was a past client. Then my brother joined. Then I had a friend join who's also sort of our manager, team manager, but he is an agent and selling as well. And yeah, just added a new team member just like a few weeks ago, also a past client.
Well, he's lucky to be on your team because you've got leads. That's the most important thing right now. So,
Yeah, you got
speak,
to feed them. Yep.
speaking of leads, let's talk about full disclosure, the way I met Alex, I have a business called Social Orchard, and I have a private Facebook group myself, and I've got about 1,000 past clients in there, and we make $50 to $100,000 a year every year off of our Facebook group, just from the nurturing the relationships 5 days a week. It's not rocket science, and then I provide content, and that's how Alex knows me. But anyway, let's talk about that a bit. So how long have you had your Facebook group?
I think 2 years now.
Yeah, it's 2022, I think you
Yeah.
you joined with us. And you heard me on a podcast, right? Real Estate Rock Stars or something. One of
Yes,
those.
you were on. Yeah, I don't remember whose it was,
Reminder
but
me
I
to either
saw
stay paid, Real Estate Rock Stars. I was on a bunch back then.
it may have
Um,
been the Whitley one, the Grant.
oh, Grant
Grant.
Wise.
Yeah, I think it was his.
That makes sense.
I think.
So
Yeah.
tell me, obviously I think that having a private Facebook group, especially if you're a community driven real estate agent, and you want to keep your arms around your sphere. And go back to what Alex said, with these third party companies that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to change the way that buyers and sellers find an agent, they want to be
Right.
the hub, and they're driving it traffic hard. Like Effective Agent and Fast Expert are the ones I use. And every time I go on a listing appointment with one of them, I'm like, some poor sap sold them this house and they're not, and I'm paying a 25% referral fee and I'm getting the listing now. And that's a
Right.
reason right there. You have to maintain your relationships, and sending out a football calendar and a American flag on July 4th is not enough. You've got to stay in their heads. I mean, the average person's spending like 7 hours a day on their phone now, watching reels and everything else. So
Right.
really, really important. And I found the Facebook group is the easiest way to stay in touch with people on a platform they're on daily. Tell us how it's impacted you and your business.
Yeah, it's been great. It's a lot of fun, first of all. When you close a deal with someone, now they're a past client, you've got to find a way to stay in touch with them because you can't just send them like just listed, just sold mailers. They're not going to care. So when I heard
Exactly.
about your group, I thought it was interesting. It's like a fun way to stay in touch with people through Facebook, which everybody's already on, like you said. It's different. It's not what everyone else is doing. It's a nice, easy way to stay in touch with people. And everybody likes the content, so they like to participate. I can interact with them. And it just makes it easy for them to reach out to me. If they have a referral and I can get some business, then I do. And it's really good. So, yeah, I'm all for any way to stay top of mind with my sphere. I get a lot of business from my sphere, so it's been a nice fun addition to what I was already doing.
Right. I send out, well, we have 4 client events a year. Last year we had a shredding truck come to our office and a bunch of people for that. We gave away pies at Thanksgiving. We rented a microbrewery and, had food and beer. We had a portrait in the park where we hired a photographer, but those are very expensive. The Facebook group is free. First of all, you can do it yourself. You can create your own content. You don't need me. The thing that
Right,
we do is we just help people implement because we give them the 20 posts every month. But the bottom
right,
line is a Facebook group, we're all on them as realtors. It's one of the easiest ways to communicate with people. And it's almost like a utility. And you can use a Facebook group as a CRM because 75% of adults in the United States are on Facebook. So you're not trying to get them onto TikTok or,
right.
and I'm not a TikTok guy. I'm not the kind of person that's going to, I just can't do it. I mean, and I'm probably
No, me
losing out,
too.
but I'm also old. But I'm not the kind of person that's going to be able to. I mean, you're a funny guy, but you're not like TikTok funny, and you're
Right.
not going to start swearing just to get attention. You know what I mean? It's like
No,
that's what I'm
I can't
saying.
do it.
So
Yeah, yeah,
right, right, right.
exactly.
But this is a way to use social media to stay in touch with people 5 days a week. But I see you're not just using our content; you're using this group. You're like the mayor of this group. What else are you doing? Because I see that you're posting other stuff. You're posting stuff around town. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think people like to hear local news. I'm big into food. I'm a foodie, so I like to talk about restaurants and all different food, like takeout places that are local. To me, that's a lot of fun, and people really engage with it. Sometimes I'll post like, you know, what's your best cheesesteak in Somerset County, or where do you go to get the best ice cream? And people love it, and like people will argue about it. It creates a buzz, it creates engagement, and that's good. To me, that's winning.
What kind of engagement do you get in your group? Just so a lot of people think that they can do it on their personal page, and you could have 5,000 Facebook friends. Facebook will not allow you to cloud other people's Facebook feeds with your
Right.
you're bragging about your house and your car and how smart your kids are and all and food, every meal you make. They're going to cut it way back. Their algorithm changed in 2018 so that they only show you posts from people that they consider you to have a real relationship with. Because if you're not engaging with those posts, they quickly get them off your feed. But a Facebook
Right.
group is different. It's built for engagement, and Facebook encourages it. And they figure if you can get hundreds of people in a group and you can get them engaging, then they're going to keep feeding them your content. And they also notify, like every time Alex Monaco with Remax posts in his group, the notification shows up that somebody posts in that group or he posts in that group. So it's more eyeballs on your brand too.
Exactly. Yeah, that when I heard you talk about this group, what was interesting to me was that I had just started hearing that like Facebook wants groups. They want people to do groups. It's something they sort of promoting. So I thought that was cool to me, because I was noticing, I'm posting on my Facebook business page like I'd get 3 likes. It'd be my
There's
grandma,
nothing
you
there.
know. Yeah,
A
exactly.
home inspector.
Yeah, yeah, home inspector, a lender who wants your business. So
Right.
I was like, oh, geez, this is going nowhere. So I thought that was cool because I do a lot with Facebook. So I'm like, all right, I'll do more groups. And I started a few other groups of my own, and those are doing really well also. So it's been
You've got a
fun.
living in your area group, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a what's happening in Bridgewater, New
That's
Jersey
right.
group.
Yeah, because I'm part of
Yeah,
that.
it's got like 2,000 people. I have a moving to New Jersey group, which I'm working on growing. And then I have one for real estate, like homes in Central Jersey for sale.
And then and this one that we're talking about is for your
Yep.
past
It's
clients. Now,
called yeah.
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's called Friends and Family of the Monaco team.
How do you get people, like, how did you grow your group? How many do you have in there now? You've got at least a couple hundred, don't you?
Yeah, I have like 250, I think.
Yeah, and these are,
Um,
explain, these are people, everyone you know, these aren't followers, right? These are past clients and friends and people you know.
Exactly. So it's pretty close sphere. All my past clients, and then anyone else that's friend, family, former colleague, things like that. And yeah, just started just literally scrolling through my friends list. Added a whole bunch of people at first. That way, my virtual assistant helps me with that as well. I definitely do not invite people that I'm not close with. I want it to only be people that I actually know. So that's been cool. And then I also incorporated it into KV Core into my CRM, so that like after I close a deal with someone, a couple weeks later, they get a text message with the link, and it says, "Hey, please join this group. It's a great way for us to stay in touch post closing."
That's a phenomenal hack. That's really, really good. I haven't even done that. I think that's a
Oh
great
yeah, I
idea.
should have told you that. Yep.
So, do you like when you meet someone, do you have a process for getting them in your group other than that? I mean, do you tell people that you have a group? Do you make it known?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I do tell my team. I often encourage my team members because it is friends and family of the Monaco team. So I say,
Right.
if you guys have, please get your people in, and I send reminders at our meetings, like, invite all your past clients. It's a nice way to stay top of mind and stay in touch with them. So it's cool because it's not just me benefiting, from this. My whole team can.
I've got my team members. They're all in the group. They've all invited their past clients. It helps because we're posting there every day the same content that you get.
Right.
Um, they just have to make sure they check it once a day and respond to the comments because
Right.
engagement is what it's about. The funny thing is that I've got a bunch of agents that have groups, and they subscribe to our content, but then I find that they just let the group run itself. You can't. It'd be like you having a client party and not going.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to
So
engage. You have to be in the comments for sure.
you check yours every day, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. I'm on my phone a lot and I'm on Facebook a lot. So to me, it's nothing. It's not something I even sort of plan for. I just, I see them popping up, after it's posted. I see, people commenting and, I just go right in there. So I don't even think of it. It's like second nature.
Yeah. So yeah, right. Because if you're on your phone anyway and you see a notification, you just click on it. It takes you there, and you just respond to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not that tough, and it's actually productive use of Facebook
Right.
because you're staying top of mind with people that you want business from, and it's a great retention tool for our team agents as well, because
Yeah.
it's a benefit to them, but they're also bringing in their people uh, to your group, so it's something that they want to have thrive. Now, what else are you and your like with your team right now going towards the changes that we're going to be seeing? Just taking a little bit of a sidestep with the changes that are happening starting in July, are you guys preparing for that? I mean, are you doing anything different?
Sure. Yeah, we've definitely been preparing. In New Jersey, we're not required to do buyer agency agreements, so this will be a pretty big change for us. I know a lot of states they already do them, but for us, we don't. So we've been, working on that agreement, going through it. Our office has been doing that as well, so that's been a good thing. But yeah, we definitely are going to have like sort of a plan that we all stick to, and there's certain things each agent can deviate from, their own way, but we are going to have, certain standards that we have to, uphold as a member of the team. But yeah, we're definitely going to support each other. And, it's still a work in progress, and I'm not sure we'll really know how it's going to exactly look until it actually takes place come July. But we're in it together, which makes it feel better.
Well, not only just your team, but every agent who's a member of an MLS in the entire country. We all just have to deal with it. I think it'll just be
Yeah.
quick. Um, like there was a point where buyers didn't go online to look at houses. And I remember when Zillow came out in 2009, we were all scared because um, Spencer Rakoff started Priceline, I think, and I think it was Priceline or Expedia. It was one of those. And I was
Hmm.
thinking, oh my God, they're going to put us out of business. And everyone was nervous, and ended up being a big old nothing. Because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, the process of buying a house and selling a house it's the third most stressful thing behind death and divorce. You
Right.
know, that's
Right.
not changing. Um,
No.
Zillow and Realtor.com are committed. They have no choice. If they don't provide a soft landing and educate consumers before it gets to us, like if the first knowledge that a buyer gets about having to sign something is when they talk to an agent for the first time, when they're just wanting to see a house and that's all they care about, the whole thing will blow up. And Zillow and
Right.
Realtor.com depend on you, a premier agent. I'm assuming you don't have a flex team, right? You're a premier
Yeah, we're
agent.
Premier. Yep.
Yeah.
Premier.
So they're going to have to. They're talking about offering a 7-day showing thing. I mean, I think that once we get through it, we're in a nation of workarounds, and every Amish person I know. You don't have a lot. Do you have Amish people in New Jersey?
No, more in Pennsylvania, but
Yeah.
close
So
by.
we have them
Yeah.
here. My point is this: they're not allowed to drive. They're not allowed to use electronics. I'll drive through my neighborhood and there's a bunch of Amish guys on a roof, which is 40 miles from their house. And I'm like, well, they're not allowed to drive, but they're here. That guy's got a phone in his hand. He's not allowed to own a phone. So they end up having Mennonites like loan them phones. They have Mennonites drop them off. We have, we're in a country of workarounds. We adapt and we
Right.
adjust. And we're going to get through this little period of time in July. By the end of the year, it'll be a nothing. Um,
Yeah.
the people that are talking about buyer agents being gone are insane. We're not going to
Yeah.
turn into Australia because people are
No,
used to working with buyer agents here. I
exactly.
I listed a house this morning. No one. I've had maybe two people mention about this change, and I all I say to them is, well, what have you heard? And then they'll
Right.
tell me, and then I'll just explain, how it works. Um, I really don't think that much is going to change. And we've had discount. They're talking about buyer agents working for $1,000 or whatever. We've had discount listing brokers for years, and they never
Yeah.
take over. You know,
They don't. They don't. And their
Redfin's a
listings
national.
always do the worst. It's terrible. You
Redfin
know.
is a national publicly traded company, and they have a 1% listing fee, and it's on the front page of their website. Everyone's
Right.
heard of Redfin, and they've got this much market share.
I know. Exactly.
Someone could list their house with Redfin in New Jersey and pay 5 grand on the listing side and then a small co-broke fee, and they still don't because
Exactly.
they want to work with a traditional real estate agent, and nothing's going to change human behavior. It might change it over time, but fees have been all over the place for a while anyway. I
Right.
Buyers are still going to want us. We'll figure out. I don't think most real estate agents are going to stop paying a co-broke. You might get some knucklehead seller like a FISBO type that says, "I'm
Right.
not. I'll pay you 4%, and I'm not paying a co-broke fee." And then you'll have an agent who's weak who takes the listing.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to be
That's
rampant. What
not
do
going
you?
to be the norm. Exactly.
No, I don't
No.
think that either because it would have
No.
started already. It's not a light switch.
Right. Right. It could happen right now. There's nothing stopping people from doing these things right now, but they're not. And yeah, I'm talking with sellers every day, and a lot of them don't know anything about this. And they completely understand the concept of we need to offer an incentive for the local agents to show it. And if they don't, I explain it to them and they're like, oh, okay, get it. And I show them, like, the difference in how much you could sell the house for. If it's a $600,000 house, I mean, in our market, these houses are selling for 70, 80, $90,000 over asking. It's a lot of money on the line. So when we're talking about 1%,
Yeah.
$6,000, it's small potatoes. it,
Or
it really is.
3% even if
Yeah.
it's 3%, 18 grand.
Exactly. So I'm saying, like, but like the difference. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, just the amount of money a commission is, in general, is just small potatoes for how much of a difference you could sell your house for. Because there's a lot of agents right now running around with their buyers, and they're ready to go, and they're pre-approved, and they're aggressive. So I'm like, we need to get them in here. We need as many of them as possible, and let's get a bidding war, and your house price will be driven way up. So don't worry about offering 2.5, 3%. Like, you'll get it back and then some.
That's what I'm pretty aggressive in terms of I should be from New Jersey or New York. Just I don't have the accent, but I definitely have
you
them.
seem you seem like you would be from there.
I
Yeah.
got them. I got the mannerisms and the lack of patience. And I
Yeah,
told a
yeah.
guy last week. I said, any of this store. I said because he asked me about it. I said, if I list your house for 4% and we don't offer a co-broke fee, any of the stories that you've heard of friends of yours on the news, whatever, in your neighborhood of homes listing for 299 and selling for 340 with no home inspection and appraisal gap and all that, throw all that out the window because it's not happening to you.
Right.
And I say, because the only way that you can make that happen is if you get every buyer in a price range looking at your house in a 48-hour window and having them know that they're in a competitive, emotional situation. And if you can't, and the only way you create that, because you can't do it with Zillow, is with the MLS and by enticing the other 7,000 agents in our area to pay the one agent that brings a
Right.
successful buyer. But all of those other agents are helping us push that buyer up. And that's going to be way more the delta between the commission and like what you just said, Alex,
What you
and
sell
what you could
sell
get for the
for.
house is going to
Yeah.
be way more.
Exactly. And I buy and sell myself. I do flips. So, like, I just, listed one here in Somerville, New Jersey, and I know exactly what I can do and not do. And I'm offering commission. I give out, 2.5%, because I know, I could, list it. When I list it myself, like for sale by owner, absolutely not. Like, I know what I'm doing. I want as many people in there as possible. So I say to homeowners, I wouldn't tell you to offer a buyer broker if I wouldn't do it. So, I offer the commission, and I got 17 offers on the flip, and we had got $108,000 over asking price. So it just goes to show, like, it's small potatoes, for sure.
Yeah, if you had a house for 500,000, 3% of that, or 2% of that, 2.5% of that, $7,500, right? Or no, twelve thousand
Be
five
like
hundred
12
bucks.
12,000 or so. Yeah.
$12,500. But
Right.
if you didn't have that buyer traffic,
Oh
I
man.
say to people, could you see how you could sell it for maybe 470? You know, so the difference is negligible in terms of the amount of energy that it puts behind the whole process. That's why it was created in the first place,
Right. Exactly.
to have more
That's
activity, not less. It's like they're trying to get us to go backwards.
I know. I
Do
know.
you have anything else you want to like in this market? Do you have any knowledge after being in this business for um, 10 years on what if agents are worried or if they're not doing well? What would you be telling them to do?
Oh, I think I
Did you cut out?
lost you. Hey, sorry, repeat the last part. If agents are worried.
I said, if you, with your 10 years of experience selling like $30 million worth of real estate a year, if you've got an agent who's struggling right now or they're nervous about the changes, I mean, what, if they were sitting there at a coffee shop with you, what would you be telling them to do?
Oh, I would say not to be nervous. Just this business is going to be really profitable for the ones who treat it like a business and not like a hobby. There's a lot. You got to have a mindset of abundance. There's a lot to go around. Although there's these little changes coming our way, it's not going to affect those who are really serious about it in a major way. Absolutely, it's a great time to get into real estate. There's no question. So I don't think we have anything to worry about.
As long as you're willing to have conversations every day and you're going to prospect.
Yep, you need to be talking about real estate with people every day. Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come on here. It's been very helpful. How do people reach you if they've got a referral for Central New Jersey?
Sure, great. Thank you so much for having me, Will. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Alex Monaco Real Estate. You can always call me. My number is 908-347-6951. And yeah, I'm happy to help anyone looking in New Jersey. My team covers a pretty wide area. So we'll get things done. We're big on results.
And I've known Alex now for 2 years, and he's the real deal. So if you're a real estate agent listening to this, you got somebody moving to New Jersey, definitely reach out to him. He's a good dude. Thanks for coming on, man. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Got it, my man. Thank you so much.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Building Stronger Agents podcast. If you like this episode, please give us a 5-star review and share our podcast with your friends.